What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 11 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, Sylvania is in trouble at this point, with Elspeth having defeated Vlad once, but you can't keep a good vamp down, and we will have to face off against him again. And fortunately for us, we are pressing Sylvania from both directions, and Karl is still embroiled in wars against Waldenhof and Tempelhof, and that completely screwed the faction over, unfortunately for him. And I noticed that these guys have not taken Needling yet. If you could do that without us having to do it for you, that would be lovely as well. Other than that, we have the Hochlanders, who are rising into their own, as Baldric Stroham will lead their new army within a couple of turns, and Stefan von Kessel, our Elector Count of Ostermark, will be leading his Knights of the Blazings, or not, Knights of the Everlasting Light, shortly as well. Otherwise, I believe it's a brand new turn, more or less, so we're good to start moving. Karl, let's start with you. I have two things for you to do. First of all, I'd like you to go right to the edge of this territory while Mr. Goss are here. Let's lose, I don't know, one of the halberds, I guess. Lose one of the halberds. Grab the halberd from Karl, like so, because it's a high rank and I don't want to, get rid of it. And then you can sit here for a turn, while Karl, it's time for you to grab the Royal Altdorf Griffites for yourself. And also, are you guys ready to be upgraded into Reichsguard? No. 5 turns. Alright, we'll get there. Alright, and then Karl, get to moving. You have places to be. Namely, you are going up north to fight Azag, to fight Throt, to fight Skarbrand, to fight Throg, and possibly Archaon, or whoever else we end up running into up here. It is... oh, and Valkia possibly as well. I see that she's moved decently far towards Kislev. Anyway, that was Karl. Mr. Dolph, you're next. Our second army, after all. You're gonna hit Redden. Should we level you? We can level it after the fight. What do we have here, incidentally? I guess we're about to find out. Pyrrhic victory, eh? We could auto-resolve it, but this army does not currently have a warrior priest, and it might take too long to replenish it. Let's just manually fight this real quick. Should be a pretty easy, simple fight, especially as in the last episode, Adolf defeated maybe not two, but twice as much orcs, essentially. If not quite 2 full stacks. Oh, we do have to watch out for the wizard, though, because he does have that Gaze of Mork, which could be dangerous to pretty much anything. Especially at max distance. Alright, start with deployment. We have... okay, the enemy is... okay. I wonder if I should give Vanguard deployment to Dolph himself so he can move forward. Certainly something to think about. Anyway, you guys will want to move here. Well, I was gonna say maybe try to snipe the wizard, but I don't know if that's actually going to be a realistic thing for you to do at this time. You guys will move like so, if I can actually pop you into formation. Alright, wizard, you're gonna hover overhead, you're gonna be group 1, you are going to be group 2, part of the, or group 3 rather, part of these guys, you're gonna... yeah. Alright. War Machines behind the rest of these guys, gonna be group 4. We can turn off your skirmish mode, but keep it on the Outriders and probably and the Pistoliers as well. Speaking of Pistoliers, I would like you guys to move here. You can be group 5, you can be group 6, and then you can be group 7 from this direction. Lovely. Alright, and I believe that's all we have to do unless I'm mistaken. Let us see how the enemy handle this. So you're going to move forward. Oh, I always forget about the Witch Hunter retinue that gets summoned here. Alright, do we need to move you guys forward? Let's move forward a bit. Like so, and then you are going to back off. You're going to charge the Squig Herd. You guys are going to move up. You will try to gun down those pump wagons. There we go. Charge on through them, steam expulsion, and then back off, lest you get too badly damaged by our own troops. You guys can turn off skirmish mode and try to snipe that Black Orc Big Boss, I guess. And the rest of that looks okay to me. You two can also snipe the Black Orc Big Boss, because I don't want to deal with him. Alrighty, and then you charge forward. Maybe we should pop off a spell. Feels like the thing to do. Let's do that. And okay, you guys are moving on in. Lovely. Alright, you've charged, and then we can back off a little bit as needed. Oh, you guys are getting hit by range units. Let's back you off then. You can move after this. And I see there's some boar boys on the way, and I didn't mean to move you forward like that, my bad. Otherwise, looking okay. There we go. Maybe back up. Oh, I did not mean to zoom in like that. My bad. Sorry about the poor camera work. It's not as easy to do good camera work when you're playing the fight as well. Alright, anybody else? Okay, you guys just keep on hovering around there. In fact, I'd like you to snipe that Black Orc Big Boss first. Yeah, the enemy's gonna have a tough time here. Alright, you know what? Let us do this. You're going to buff everybody up like so. Keep everybody firing. In fact, maybe forward a teensy bit and forward a teensy bit. I don't think the enemy has much of a prayer left. You guys are still firing. Turn on your skirmish mode. I'd like you to move forward and activate ballistics calibration as well. And charge anybody as needed. Alright, and ooh, we got reinforcements arriving. Let's back you off. Turn off skirmish mode because I don't trust it. And you absolutely should not trust it. You keep hovering overhead. Everybody else is firing away with lots of damage. You guys keep backing off. Alright, and forward again. Yeah, I guess well, unsurprisingly, we don't really have to run and gun here, because the enemy just doesn't have the requisite number of troops to actually threaten us. And again, the orcs are much less of a threat to this particular army than something like those wood elves were. You guys, I'd like you to snipe that savage orc shaman. In fact, snipe both shamans, why not? You can help out with that as well. And you can just keep charging and annoying the enemy. You guys, turn skirmish mode back on and annoy this unit of poor gobs. You guys have... well, just make sure any units that break are actually shattered. There we go. Alright, just a little bit more and I'd wager the enemy army will shatter. Okay, you are moving slowly, I'm not entirely sure why. Alright, like so. And speed up, the battle should be ours. And, ow, okay, never mind. Now it's ours. Okay, took an extra second, just long enough to make me look like a fool. Thanks, game. I appreciate it. Alright, well... and just give it a couple of seconds. I never know whether to just do an extra bit of chasing in these, because the enemy army does get fully destroyed, but oh, okay, never mind. You know what? Don't chase. I was like, if you chase at max speed, we're probably going to do more damage to our own army than the enemy does. Yeah, they'll still manage to rack up 288... I mean, he's in a tank. It's a tank on a medieval battlefield. What do you expect? A tank with a guy with a grenade launcher lobbing grenades in your face. If anything, if it doesn't get great kill counts, it would be it would feel wrong. And the war wagons did very well. You can see this. This is the comparison of the war wagons. This one got a third as much kills as the grenades, but it got like 5 times the damage dealt as gold value because these things are sniping lords and heroes and such, while these guys are just attacking the relatively worthless gobs and piles of melee troops. I do say relatively worthless, at least against us, against us when led by the AI. When you're using gobs, at least the player is using gobs, it's usually to the player's advantage. Occupy. Here we go. Faction destroyed. Scroll of Lycos I don't really care about. And, hey, free student. Scroll of Lycos, let's take a quick look at you. We have a Wand of Jet here, which isn't bad, admittedly. I still don't dislike these Scepters of Stability, though I think there are better options. But where's that Scroll of Lycos? Oh, maybe we just mix it with the Wand of Jet. Like so. And we get a... what is this? A Trickster's Shard. Yeah, alright, I don't dislike that. That is decent. You currently have the Scepter of Stability, funnily enough. We should probably eventually just replace them all with... over time, or replace them all with Trickster Shards, like so, and then who else has one of these guys? It is... well, though again, we do lose the spell resistance, which is nice. Nonetheless. Ulrich Meyer, wait, that's not Karl's guy, is it? It is Karl's guy. Whoops. Probably should give you a better item. You're in Karl's own army, after all. Trickster Shard. There you go. Alright. And we're saving that healing potion for Boris Todbringer, if you're wondering why I still have that. Anyway, that was you, Theodric von Blitten. Since the Broken Wheel have stolen Fishital from the Karakadrin Dwarfs, we're going to declare war on them. By asking, apparently, nobody. Surprised the Karakadrin is not at war with them, but sure. And taking this for ourselves. Declare war, don't call allies. Blitten, take. Resolve. And occupy. Lovely. Then I would like to... Okay, well, first of all, build the weaving house, but I would like to do two things. Okay, Outrider's Handgun, another student. Good. Go kill this little pile of rebels. Maybe they would take us and maybe they wouldn't, but whatever. Auto resolve. I want to see if we can immediately trade us in away for that little territory outside of Zufbar. It remains to be seen. Let's see how much it's worth to them. So, what was the place called? It was called Oakenhammer. Oakenhammer for Essen. No, they prefer Essen. We can't join any wars, and they won't... maybe I should have let the rebels kill that after all. Oh, well, what can you do? I guess we're just going to have to level up Oakenhammer. You are going to go right here. You're going to loop back around past Waldenhof and then towards either Eschen or Zerden. And I guess we can level these things, but, you know, we'll look at it in a bit. And there is another thing I wanted to spend money on, so... Other things to potentially do. Elspeth, you're going to head towards Vlad. Like so, and then Kurt, I would like you to go to Fort Brocher for now. We're going to replace the weaving house in Oakenhammer and hope that if we build a military structure, then the enemy will be happy with it. Elspeth, I assume you can't cross this turn? You can channel, though. Alright, looks like she can't cross with Vlad there. Well, we'll see how he reacts to all this. It might be that he was attempting to cross as well. Just want to make sure that we're in range of... Yes. Fort Brocher, if you should get attacked. Marius, you're fine where you are. Just sit. Alright, that's you. Wait, don't you have a militiaman? No, you do not. I took that away from you. Sorry, guy. Frankly, we should probably deliver these free company to somebody else since they're high-ranked and put them to use elsewhere, which we probably will. Waldemar Biber, you are still missing 2 steam tanks to replace the Hellblasters, because this feels like too many Hellblasters. But otherwise, then you're also missing a wizard. And maybe even a second engineer. But otherwise, I think you're probably good to go. The question is where... Ooh, free island. Yeah, grab that island then. We gotta move down here into Bretonnia with several armies anyway, so... Let's see if there's anything useful here. Explore the island, and we'll go for auto-resolve for obvious reasons. No damage, at least not any damage of significance, and then pardon those captives. Into at least big money, but come on, lost cargo or materials at sea? Nah, it's just money. Not that I'm complaining about the money, mind you. And there's no other islands here. I wonder if it would be faster to land here and move through Gisoro and move towards maybe these guys here. This is all also territory that we might want to trade. The Grungzint would also be a decent option to trade to Kuran. If actually we could take a couple of these territories, that would be great. But anyway, that's what you're doing. We're sending the guns and artillery armies to Bretonnia because it amuses me. Land here, and then we'll move forward. Anyway, got that money. Oh, actually, there was something I wanted to do with the money. If we take a look at South Bank real quick... We can go into Electoral Machinations and then pop into Open the Gates. Grants 2 population surplus to target region's province. South Bank, perform. Which will enable us to immediately upgrade Altdorf to Tier 5, which is reasonably critical because we can then build the Imperial Palace, which will give us additional capacity for Empire Captains, which we really want, additional character XP, which we really want, and most importantly, bonus control, which we, you know, really want. We'll also then be able to delete both the barracks here and the tap room because the control and the ability to summon Empire Captains here will no longer be required. And there are other things to be built here, though I do want to double check what else we want to actually build here. We'll obviously want to build a Temple of Sigmar. Actually, wait, we might be able to keep the barracks? Assuming that we build a Temple of Sigmar here, and then replace the tap room with the Imperial Palace. Yeah, we could keep the barracks, or replace it with the training barracks for the additional recruit rank +1, but maybe not as critical. And then if we keep the city north, we have almost all the military buildings that we would need here, with the obvious exception of the Ulrich Temple, because it's taken place by the Sigmar Temple. Not as much money-making as we could have by replacing this with a common temple, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Alright, anyway, that was a bit of a distraction. Let's see what else we need to do. Elspeth, you're waiting to fight Vladi yet again. Recruiter Van Grug, you... Are you done? We are waiting for one more set of bordermen. And we will reset these guys in 3 turns when we confederate Boris. Let's check what our master engineers are looking like. Methodical. Oh, I don't dislike methodical. Not for you, but I don't dislike methodical. I guess we can use one of the recruiters to travel. So you have bailiff and militiaman, and then you have... Oh, wow, you're rank 15. It's not bad. Alright, I guess what we'll do is this then. You can wait here for 1 turn, then we'll pop Bertie Bugelhoff in this army, and then we'll send you out. What I would also like to do then... Let's get you. Methodical. Master Engineer, that reduces upkeep for war machines and Empire artillery. Those who watched my previous Karl campaign probably know where I'm going with this. You will need to... You know what? Actually, we'll get this guy in the field, but we'll maybe wait a turn or two to save on the money right now, but it's because we can't build land ships or too many... Well, we can't build any steam tanks either yet. We need to get capacities. You're going to be the Grenade Army, minus the Wardens of the West, because they're going to be in a Bretonian army once we get that going, but for now, Recruiter Albrecht, stay there. Oh, you're rank 15? Yes. Go to Endless Tinkerer, and you have Headhunter. Might as well start moving through Iron Disciplinarian, then. Also, do you have a steed? You do not. You're good. Alright, well done, Recruiter Albrecht. Our first Tinkerer. Baldric, you're waiting for the recruitment, so there's nothing to do with you. And this recruiter is going to wait until we deal with these guys. You can probably move into Altstadt, though. And Gelti, oh, we do still need to move you. Okay, yeah, this is what happens when you do things out of order. You'd think I'd learned from the, from Thorgrim's campaign, but I don't learn. Anyway, Citadel of Myrmidia. Gotta make sure that Black Buckthorn doesn't actually kill you while you're here. Oh, no. Okay, well, that's a problem. This guy might attack us. Gelt will take care of him. With magic spam, if we need to. Dangerous though it may be to move like this. Anyway, Marius Lightdorf, you are stuck where you are. Gelt has been moved, and I believe that's it. So, let's do a little bit of building, such as it is. Anywhere that can give us additional cash over the next couple of turns. Oldenlitz, Oldenlitz, I will have you build a training field. We need more Empire Captain capacity. We are good here, at least for now. I guess we could start upgrading this Wizards campus, because in 5 turns, Altdorf will be upgraded, and then we can upgrade this to Tier 4, and I guess the same thing should be true of the Engineer's Workshop. Might as well start upgrading Altdorf, just generally speaking. I'm gonna be pumping out a lot more armies over the course of the next few turns and episodes after all. May as well prepare for it. Just gotta be careful about bankrupting ourselves. I have a bad habit of dropping down to like 2k per turn. Garrison Lord not moved on assigned skill points, building upgrade available, damaged building... I know where that is, we're ignoring it. It's in the Badlands. And I think we're okay. Yes? Yes. Alright, almost surprisingly no new attacks. Ambushers discovered in places. The disappeared, negative growth in Grunberg, but well. Imperial Pegasus for somebody. Are you supposed to have a Pegasus? I might like you on horse, but hold on to the Pegasus for now. I will think about this. Alright, now, let's see what happened in Sylvania. So, first of all, Vladdy, you are backing off, presumably towards... Oh, I don't like that. Oh. Alright, you're going to have to move towards Vlad. He has 3 armies here. I'm willing to bet that he'll actually attack us with all of them if we move towards him, so that's what we're going to do. Elspeth, that's you. Oakenhammer, while we have you, let's immediately start upgrading the training field, and just in case... That's going to take 5 turns, it'll never happen. Just to double check again. Oakenhammer for Essen? Oh no. You better not upgrade Essen. I get that it's a capital, but it's still unfortunate, because this will complete our province, this will complete their province, but they still refuse to trade. And Gavin. Jordan is actually decently well defended. Meaning we might fight it. Alright, Theodric von Blutten, I actually want you to do 2 things. First of all, you're going to head towards Mordheim, just in case these guys start moving this way. I was hoping that they'd wipe out the, I was hoping they'd wipe out this faction as well, but it didn't happen, apparently. Oh well. Anyway, you're gonna head this way, and let's get you a couple of stronger troops. 2 Null Ironsides, and then 2 Hawkland Long Rifles. And we'll keep the rest of these guys as handgunners, not to overdo it or anything, and then we'll... Again, I'll figure out what exactly we want to do with that particular army. Anyway, let's start from the top, which I am pathologically incapable of doing. Go here. Or at the very least, I'm pathologically incapable of doing things in order. We're at war with you? Yes. That's actually a decent army. Maybe Dolph can actually fight you. Now, we do need to knock these guys out, but the problem is this. If we move towards them, this army will then come down and take Redden out, most likely. Probably not quickly, though. I think we'll move here and then see how close we can get to Grizzguts. In fact, maybe... Oh, wow. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, Dolph. I think you'll enjoy this. Oh, look at that. Lots of fast movers. The Feral Carnosaur is going to be an issue. The Chaos Spawn are unbreakable. Yeah, alright. Should be fun. You. Go here. Someday you'll join that army. Someday. Governor Billings, we can ignore you for now. Gavin, yes, you are going to fight. So, we are going to pop you into Gerdon as soon as we level up. Artillery Master and Sharpshooter, we just have the Halberds and the Huntsmen, which are supposed to be Gundermans, which need Pistol Corps, and the Drakewald Riders. So, we have Pistol Corps, we do not have Speed of Horse, which we do want. And I guess we'll want Sharpshooter, but, well, I guess some of them can take advantage of it right now, but more can take advantage of Speed of Horse, so I'm gonna say that's probably what we should do. Yeah, alright, Speed of Horse it is. Wizard, one more level for that Imperial Griffin, and it's going to be a good time. We should try to get you the Sorcerer's Shielding as soon as possible for that particular purpose as well. Let us... Yeah, you know what? That's probably the thing to do now. Let's start moving through studious people. Well, let's get at least 1 point in Pans. Though, wait, do you need Overcast to... Yeah, you need Overcast to make it affect area. Alright, well, we'll do that as well. Esteemed Combatant, definitely, for when we get attacked, and we'll still want to max out Lead the State Troops and Retinue Bard, so that you guys have that big ol' aura to help us out with. You can move us through We Are the Elite. Actually, no, wait, go through Sparring Practice into Guardian and then into Killing Blow first. Probably more critical, I will admit. You are trying to get to Retinue Physician, so Retinue Valet into Retinue Quartermaster, I think. Let's go through Inspirational. Does anything else increase your... Well, actually, this decreases your leadership aura. Soothsaying increases it, though. Though the increase is less than the decrease, unfortunately. And we can combine Augury with Inspirational, so we should probably... Which does make sense, and weaker sort of Imperial units like the Halberds are going to need it. Anyway, that looks good to me, so you're going to head to Gerdon. Or Zerdon. Close victory, medium casualties. Alright, alright. I'm willing to see how the Drakewald Riders will fare against those Black Knights with lances and barding and all that. Let's get to it. Wait, we did reach the engagement threshold, and once again, long episode, and the engagement threshold remains 500 likes, 70 comments. I mean, in reality, it's 460, but if every time we reach 500 again, I will once again bank an extra long episode. Go. Alright, I forgot the Grandmasters are more or less silent, but that's alright. Anyway, here we go. We've got a force of the Vampire Counts arrayed against us. We'll see how the Drakewald Riders fare against the Black Knights, and since the Grandmaster is leading the Knights, our infantry, will see how well they fare against everything else. Now... I'm thinking that, while I do like this army, I may actually split it off into two armies. The thing is, since we found out that the Drakewald Riders don't benefit from the portion of the skill tree that buffs the other knights, in fact, it seems that because they're an old world unit, the SFO buffing stats, etc., thing doesn't include them, we might be better off giving them giving a lord that does buff cavalry, as in a general of the Empire, to lead these guys, the Drakewald Riders, and then maybe having Gavin lead Stubborn Wolves, or Stubborn Bulls, or another set of knights, Knights of War. There's a bunch of options, obviously. Although Stubborn Bulls, I think, are the only ones that still get the buffs from the irregular tree. But anyway, all that aside, we'll see. For now, the Dire Wolves have been obliterated, and it looks like the Black Knights are having no better a time, while the enemy's main stack is still heading directly towards us, or at least trying to. I did use the transformation of Kadan, which, admittedly, I don't like anymore. I used to like the spell, but it seems that, I don't know when it happened, it seems that the summoning degradation happens too quickly, unfortunately. Yeah, recharges of Winds of Magic power less than 50%, so I think basically this is only useful and should be used when you have plenty of Winds of Magic. And I think this is not the army for it, so because we want to be spamming Flock of Doom basically on cooldown, and I guess it's not enough. Meaning that the Manticore disintegrates within essentially 60 seconds, and then it takes like 10 seconds to actually start moving, and then another like 30 seconds to get to the enemy, so it's basically useless unless you have that full mana and it doesn't degrade. But perhaps in another army, maybe we can make it work. Anyway, the Grave Guard and such are moving on in. We've got our summoned units of officer squads, which will help out against them, I'm sure. And any damage dealt to the summoned officer squads is damage not dealt to our main line. Otherwise, bounce powers are hovering at about 70%, and it's just a good old-fashioned brawl on the front lines. We have very limited amounts of range units in this particular army, so we just have to wait for them to, well, for the melee mostly, to do their thing. The enemy has sent some Karen Race over on the right flank, so rather than having the warrior priest in the center, I decided to send him there to help deal with the Karen Race, because he has magical attacks and can help buff all of our units. The enemy vampires, both the hero and the lord, have actually crashed through our lines at this point and have moved towards our crossbows, where they are trying to prevent them from firing, and successfully, I might add. Fortunately, our Empire captain here has been kept back and is now going to kill off this vampire hero and then move towards the Vistragoi Lord afterwards as well. The enemy's still moving on in. It looks like we've still got a little bit of action for the Drakewald Riders, but rather than getting bogged down fighting these 4 units of Graveguard and Skeletons, we're actually going to pop off our stand your ground and then retreat. The idea is it's going to take these guys so long to get back to us, now we might as well take advantage of that and use the cavalry to help the main stack, while those guys waste their time moving towards the battle. I think it'll work out well. And there we go with that. The Vampiress falls, and then the Empire Captain is victorious, having lost about a quarter of his HP. Gonna pop off that Kettle's Call summon and have them immediately surround that Strigoi Lord. They don't do a crazy amount of damage, but it is still armor piercing and such. Even if they do... Oh! They also degrade pretty much immediately. Well, considering they have basically tiny amounts of HP, it's perhaps not surprising how quickly they fall. Anyway, the Great Hawks have been joined by the Empire Captain, who is in the midst of the duel with the Vampire Lord, who is on the verge of being broken. Nice thing about the Drakewald Riders is that they move rather quickly, and on top of that they have Striders, so they have been able to reposition and are getting back to the main fight pretty much immediately. And just a little bit more work, there goes the enemy lord, and since the limited number of remaining enemy infantry is bogged down, held back by the halberdiers, all we gotta do is charge him. And that will probably carry the day. A Flock of Doom comes down to herald the arrival of the charging Drakewald Riders. There we go, and a very nice charge will obliterate that unit. And okay, these guys appear to have stopped because I think they were also charging the same unit which died and then disappeared, and then that stopped their charge. But all good, as the last of these units will melt away. There we go, one more charge from the Drakewald. And now those 4 units which we were able to distract with the knights are the only thing left on the battlefield. So we're going to reposition and deal with them. Frankly, we could have just moved away and allowed them to melt because they're all dying. Going to help them on their way back to the grave with a nice Flock of Doom. And get one more charge. Ooh, into the light like this. Very nice. As the dead returns to the grave, the sun comes out once more. Beautiful. And with that, the battle is ours. A little bit of damage on a few units, but the most hurt units are the summoned units because, well, they're pretty fragile. A and B, we don't care about them. A lovely work from Gavin. And just got to remember that, that I wanted to split these armies off. Or split this army up. Alright, very nice. That went fairly well. A little bit of damage to one of our halberdiers, but otherwise they look to be okay, and... I'm just now thinking that maybe we won't be able to fit Eldred's Guard into this without losing too many halberdiers. I'll think about it, but I guess we could also do halberds in another army as well. There is that option. As in, with this one being mixed and the other one not being as mixed. Anyway, the rest of this is fun. We will occupy the place, not return it to the Elector. Don't bother. Can't trust them with the vampiric corruption. Waldenhof is ours, an Imperial Griffin for Weigel. Scarecrow Banner? That'll come in handy, maybe. Bone Picker? Sure. He got... Wait, did you level up 3 times? From that? Huh, interesting. Well, I guess we do have a lot of bonuses, but anyway, we have Pistol Core, we want Speed of Horse. We will not be getting any use out of any of the other things here, unless I'm mistaken, so we're good with your red line, minus Sharpshooter, which we can get now. I guess we can move through Unwavering Discipline, just because of the Leadership Aura and Vigor Loss reduction. Pump up that brass lunged as well, and then start making you a fighter as well, Mr. Gavin. Huh, he might actually be... not point hungry enough that we might be able to move through Quartermaster and Headhunter, which would be really helpful. Well, lovely. Alrighty, we'll level up the rest of these guys before we fight again, I imagine. Now, who is next? So, Boris Broch, you are to deliver this first steam tank to this army. Oh, and actually with them landing here, that might speed it up a little bit as well. You are going to move through Fort Bergbray, or Bergbrus. And Jürgen, you are going to grab this Mysterious Island. Oh, it's a Mysterious Island. Farsight. Free Razor Standard for you. Yeah, that'll work. And a Trunk of Maps. We don't really care about that, but it's not like we need you to be fighting right now. You're going to go back into Norden. I see no other islands nearby for you to be able to grab. There's a Mysterious Island right there. Well, I screwed that up. Go up here, man. And then, Ralph, I would like you to go to Norden and do 2 things. In a second. Soon as you're done moving. There you go, bud. I didn't realize that this island was like right beside. It looked part of the land from a distance. I guess there's another few up here, but this might be too close to the Scaling, with whom we currently have no diplomatic contact, and the Sarl up here and the Scaling over here. And for now, what we want is another Nordland Mariner. And I believe that's it for the state troops. We have 2 more turns until we reset the count. Alright, Ralph, you can keep moving. Go out to sea. You're going to deliver these to Jürgen, and then you're going to come back and then hopefully get more troops. Lovely. This way this army can, you know, serve a purpose and get XP for the heroes instead of just sitting there. Emil von Corden, who are you again? Ah, yes, you're going to be leading our Demigriffs shortly, when we get those up and running, but you're still recording in recording. I'm still recording. Recruiting. Yeah, these guys are waiting then. And then Theodric Gossa, I would like you... Oh, there's an island out here. Should grab that as well. Alright, just go through this province. I'm going to risk you getting a plague. I'm going to hope that you don't, but I will risk it. Because we need to get great swords to Kessel. Speaking of, go here. Alright, so, a recruiter, you... Oh, you know what we could do? We could do some names while we're here. Silver Bullets. You will be... Yagd... Battalion number 5. And there we go. Alright. I guess we could Hawkwood long rifles, handguns, and null ironsides. Yeah, alright, let's do you. Long shots for the long rifles. And, well, actually, we've named a fair few Ironsides already, so maybe we'll hold off on those. But I did want to name some great swords. Somebody out here. Theodric, you have some. All right, you. Just the two, but we might get a few more in this army, depending on what this army will eventually look like. You can be Cleaver's company. And Elspeth, let's name at least one of your Knights of the Black Rose. Back in black. There we go. Alright, good enough for now. We've got, I got all of artillery names, we'll deal with them later. Anyway, Recruiter, you're gonna grab this guy to increase, well, not so much increase your mobility, but to pop into the army. I would like to see what our Master Engineers... Okay, no new one, unfortunately. Alright, you can just move northward and then be replaced by a Lord, but we need you to conquer stuff, so go and conquer. While Recruiter Beckberg can be the one to, well, continue the recruitment. And it would be nice, actually, if you reach drill rank 15, because then we have another Tinkerer available. More research. Always a good thing. Recruiter Albrecht, you're waiting for capacity for various things. Ooh, we can't upgrade Fort Solace soon, though. I was about to say we should get you a couple more mortars in the grenade army, but you'll probably want Sutzen's guns. Anyway, Marius Leitdorf, you're stuck where you are, and will remain so for a bit. Balthazar Gelt, I would... Oh, I don't like that. These guys are uncomfortably near you, and what they could potentially do... Yeah, but Gelt's there. It's fine. Let's take a look at Electoral Machinations. We have one more turn until conscription. Darn, alright, that's what I wanted to do right now, but oh well. This we're waiting on. Inquisition we don't need right now. Commendation we don't need either. Alright, Gelty, I would like you to move in march stance beside Wolfram, and then take his troops.
It is time.
In fact, wait. Well, I guess he still has to stay out here and recruit. That hasn't changed. So take his troops, but allow him to keep recruiting. There we go. And then we've got two more of those rocket batteries coming in, which will replace the some of the pikes and I guess the crossbows as well. And obviously the Knights of the Black Rose aren't staying in this army, but they'll serve their purpose for now, at least until we fight. Now, since there's two enemies here, most likely what they'll do is besiege Citadel and then attack us together. But that's fine. I'm sure Gelt can handle them. But just in case, we will still level him up. So, let's see what we're looking at here. And we could upgrade the artillery already. Get him Imperial Gunnery, or we could continue moving through his... Well, he can get Glittering Robe really cheap, though I don't remember if it's single version. Nope, it's upgraded or singular. Alright, so we should max that out because it's nice and spammable. Frankly, I do like Plague of Rust and Transmutation of Lead and Fine... It's all good. Get everything. Max it out. This Celestial Wizard will stay here for now. Once again, I might take him out of this army and put him elsewhere. But for now, he's good. We can, however, get him Star Student into Celestial Scholar, and I guess might as well get Battle-Hardened and Guided by the Stars. Curse of the Midnight Wind is great. Harmonic Convergence is great. We'll probably want Roiling Skies at the very least. And for now, I'd like you to actually move through Studious Pupil into Machination of the College and Improved Scrying Techniques to get the bonuses faction-wide, so once we reach those, that'll be good. Let's here get you... I'm gonna say Untapped Potential for the Winds of Magic increase. At least while Gelt is using you. Oh, I don't like this trait. Man, the Griffin Banner isn't horrible, but otherwise this trait is kind of meh. Let's get you Tough as Nails, and then... we could always reset you and put you in another army, but for now we have infantry here, so we may as well go for the cause. Alrighty, Gelt, stay there. We'll see if you get attacked, sir. Who else needs to move? Okay, not this recruiter, not Marius, I already checked you. Not this recruiter, not yet, though he will be recruiting again shortly. Baldric is waiting. Tech Thieves. We're ready to end the turn. Minus Diplomacy, which we haven't done. But anyway, Toran Rock. Steel Tech. 96% success chance now. Getting up there. Beautiful. And the Tech Thieves are finally putting in the work, and that's because of the Lord's Counselor upgrading it significantly. I guess you could go for Wound in case somebody moves on. Oh, actually, no, I lied. Go through Studious People into these. That way the Tech Thieves will still have a faction-wide use. Volkmar Scout. You've had a heck of a journey. 2 more turns until you finally reach Volkmar. Theodoric Kemp, you are supposed to join Stefan von Kessel because we want Witch Hunters in an Ostermarker army. Grizzled, I would love to take this if it wasn't for the fact that it causes desyncs. Ghost Hunter isn't horrible either. Bonus range and banish contact effect. Yeah, we could combine... If we could get 2 Ghost Hunters and then 2 outfitted ones, that would be fine. I just don't want to, you know, spend too long fishing for traits, as it takes a while. Speaking of fishing for traits, Hazard Technician, that's definitely one we want, and in fact... Funnily enough, I probably should have put that one in here, but maybe you'll be fine without. Alright, we can use one of these for the inevitable Grenadier army.
Imperial Scholar.
Hazard Technician. Pop you in there.
Engineer.
Oh, lovely. Alrighty, and that's... Okay, wait. First of all, upgrade you, but anyway. Zealous Priest, no, I want the one that gives us charge bonus. Tech Thief, you should have a 100% success chance. Yes, you're a too high level. Oh, lovely. And I suppose later we could always reset you and then pop you into an army, because you'll be very high level by that time. Oh, and you already have improved techniques and stuff, so... doesn't really matter what you take, whatever. Get whatever, until you're ready. To swap out, I mean. Tech Thief, ooh, you reached rank 10. Steel Tech, oh, you're saving points to go into Lord's Counselor, and... Yeah, alright, so just keep on doing this until you're rank 12 then. 79. But he didn't fail. Alright, one more success and he'll reach rank 12, and that'll hopefully mean no more failures from you. Beautiful. Alright, we got a little bit of diplomacy to do, hopefully. Or assuming iron skins. Yeah, we could be friends, why not? Eventually they'll probably be willing to trade with us as well. Frankly, we could just declare war on the Slaneshi and then they'd probably be willing to trade. Sylvania, no need to trade. We'll wait on that. Legion of Setup, we're gonna kill you soon, so sorry. Unless Grimgor... Oh, wow, Grimgor is uncomfortably close to our territories now. Okay, we might have to deal with that. He'll probably immediately attack us once we're there, and look at everybody wanting those military alliances with us. I mean, maybe we should start moving through those? It wouldn't be a horrible thing. How much money are you willing to give us for this? 4.6k? Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? He might die, he might not die. The Badlands are not a huge problem for us right now, so we'll just do that. Let's see who else we can freely get a military alliance going with. I mean, we could with Carrick Hearn, though I feel like other factions don't like them. Thorgrim's okay with them. They're also occupying territory. Well, we could always give them mountains back. How much money are you willing to give us for this? 5.6k. Yeah, and frankly, I don't really care that much if they die. And I just want to double check, do they have contact? They don't have contact with the Wood Elves, so just do it, fine, whatever. We'll just not do the same thing with the Dwarfs here, so that we don't piss off the Wood Elves, because that's a lot of potential allies, and that's a lot of potential bonuses for us. Plus, there's several armies that I think could use Wood Elf units, because I think it'll be neat. Kuhan, I'm saving your military alliance, though. Yes, and ooh, wait, Orthodoxy no longer wants a military alliance? They used to. Oh, they're all the way at the top. And the reason I'm saving this one is this. Let's just take a quick look at the Orthodoxy here for a second. We want to get Weiler. If we can get this from you... Wait, trade Weiler. 83, darn. Okay, so this goes down to 69, but even if we join war against everybody, you won't do it. But, you know, we might find a smaller settlement that they might be willing to sort of do that for, so, you know. Alright, now we got buildings to be building. Drakvald. Yes to the toll gates, because we're building those everywhere. Marienburg, you yes to the toll gates. Oh my lord, 5,000k. Never mind. Not worth it. Stedham, 3.5k. Yes, worth it. And also, of course, the guns and the Wizard's Conclave. Alright, I'm pretty sure... Okay, Salzenmund, yes, okay. I'm pretty sure there were several places where we wanted to upgrade main structures. Altdorf is fine for now. We should upgrade these, but maybe we save the points because there is another main settlement to be upgraded next turn. Save the money, I mean. Oh, we should also upgrade the port, though. It's always a good idea to do. Alright, oh wow. River Aver. Oh, we have no public order building here. Explains why the place is unhappy, but I don't want to get rid of the barracks because we need more of those guys. You know what? I guess we'll get rid of the gunnery school here. Or replace it with a public order building, at least temporarily. Not to worry. We should be able to do the Staff of Voland's quest next turn. To fix most of the public order situation, well, issues that we've got going right now. Okay, we've dropped down back to 17k per turn. Gotta be careful about that. It's gonna drop even further by a significant amount by 2k next turn with all of the demi-griffs. But that's fine. At least for now. Oh, we'll also want more Empire captains, which we assume, yeah, don't have and capacity yet. I want more of them with the demi-griff army. And I know I'm calling it a demi-griff army, but it's only going to have like 5 of them, so... Yeah, anyway, building upgrade available, damage at building, and let's end the turn, see if we get attacked anywhere. Here, maybe? Elspeth? In fact, yeah, let's level Elspeth. There's a very high likelihood that they attack. Now, she's got a decent amount of points. As to which points we want to take, she's not miscasting once again, so that's not a concern. Let's go for Rally into Sharpshooter and to Stand Your Ground. She's keeping the Knights of the Black Rose and the Artillery, so we can level them both up like this. And the Strength of Hardship does nothing for us, right? Not on this army at any rate.
I must study this.
Alright, you, Engineer. We already have We Are the Elite, and I don't care for laboratories, so we can do, let's say, piercing shots into extra powder, and... gun sight? Range and armor piercing damage, not much range, but you know what, you're actually... 30, yeah, you know what, you're gonna need the melee defense. You're probably going to get attacked by vamps, as does tend to happen. Now you are probably going to lead the knights rather than the infantry. Though, funnily enough, this will still reduce their upkeep because it counts missile infantry and gives them +5 armor, which they need more. And then the knights, +3 melee defense when attacking is nice as well, when defending rather, is nice as well. We don't actually need the demigriff mount. Yeah, I think we'll actually go for the infantry buffs because they need it more than the cav do. Although... this does buff you personally, and it will make you stronger, and it will make you more of a champion for Elspeth. I'm not sure which I like more. Officer Squad would fit nicely with these guys, though. And like I said, it's another thing that tempts me to get a second Empire captain in here. Maybe one to lead the horses and one to lead the Ironsides. But at the same time, we want the steam tank. You know what? I'm going to hold off on that. Let's just do tough as nails and training, and we definitely still want We Are the Elite and esteemed combat. Oh, I lied. Sparring practice, guardian, killing blow, and then tough as nails and training. And then we'll make that decision when I figure out what exactly I want. All right, now we can end the turn. Alright, there we are. Unsurprisingly, Vlad will indeed attack us, and unlike the first fight against him and Isabella, we've got twice as many enemies to face up against, and twice as many vampires, apparently, because we've got 2 more vamps, 3 more vamps, counting the Lord, 2 more necromancers. Yeah, alright. This should actually perhaps challenge Elspeth, but last time she didn't have a tank, and now she very much does. Go.
By side and spirit, we will cut our foes asunder. It is time we ushered them over the threshold unto death.
Alright, and the first thing to usher them over the threshold unto death will be a rocket barrage, smashing into the lines of skeleton spears at least, to take out half of their HP in the first volley. That said, the spears aren't really going to be any kind of problem in this army, or these armies, as there's a lot of units to deal with, generally speaking. Graveguard, and just generally speaking, tons of elites and vampires, so we'll see how well we do. Anyway, we're going to rush forward with our vanguard deployed units of Wissenberg's Welcomers, though it looks like a single volley from those units of Sylvanian crossbows. Second volley, take about 45, well, maybe 40% of their HP. So we're actually going to have to immediately pretty much back them off. Got to remember that we've got anti-large on the Sylvanian crossbows of the von Carstein bloodline, unlike our own crossbows, and so they can be pretty darn useful at killing off things like the relatively fragile war wagons. Gotta be careful. On the bright side, we do outrange the limited number of Sylvanian crossbows, both in magical and mundane artillery. There we go, I'm going to pop off a Purple Sun of Zoreus into the enemy line, and that should at least take out one of the Sylvanian crossbows. while the rockets continue raining down on the enemy below. In the meantime, Elspeth's going to get her Carmine Dragon Breath down onto the enemy Black Coach, which pretty much instantly gets destroyed. But by virtue of being close enough to the enemy Vampire Lords, we get hit with the Storm of the Night, which is a very high damage dealing ability, targeting only enemy range units. However, to knock out the Black Coach might be worth it. We'll see, as Elspeth does have regeneration. We were also able to pop off a Fate of Biuna on the enemy Blood Knights. The steam tank was firing away at them, and so were the cannons, but we're going to have to try to back off as best we can rather than allow the steam tank to get surrounded. I don't think the Blood Knights would be quickly or easily able to kill the tank, but we don't want it to get trapped and then hit by Vlad. In the meantime, up in the air, Isabella is dueling Elspeth. Elspeth waited until the Master Beguilement was gone, and now is spamming Spirit Leech as well as other damaging abilities on Isabella. And Death's Timekeeper plus that in combination means that Isabella will fall rather quickly. Okay, that was weird. That was an interesting bug. Okay, there we go. Now she'll fall. In the meantime, the Blood Knights are gone, and Black Knights are moving to fill the gap that the Blood Knights left, but will be gunned down by and large by our Nuln Ironsides. And the tank. A little bit of help from the tank as well. There we go. Nice near point-blank cannon blast into the faces of the Black Knights. Bounce power remains very much in the enemy's favor, and the reinforcements have made their way onto the battlefield. However, our units of Hellstorm rocket batteries are doing their best to knock out as many of the enemy basic infantry as they can, and will be following up by knocking out those Graveguard. But they won't be able to destroy everything. We've had to move the steam tank in as well, as it's going to be needed to anchor the line as our Knights of the Black Rose face off against lots of Black Knights and more infantry units moving in as well. A vampire, 2 vampiresses in fact, have landed. We're going to try to knock them out with our Empire Captain. Elspeth's champion, since Bruckner will be employed elsewhere. And maybe don't launch grenades right at your own units, guys. Come on. Oh well, speaking of Elspeth, she doesn't need Bruckner, she doesn't really need a champion, as she's her own champion and is facing off against an enemy Vampire Lord who will go down in the same way as Isabella did. And there we go, zombie dragon or no. And Elspeth is down by about 30% of their HP, but will continue recovering. Vlad is booking it towards us with his rather fast movement speed. And while we did attempt to get a volley on him from our units of Ironsides, they pretty much missed every shot as he runs too quick. There we go. Now he's in the fight with Blood Drinker. Elspeth tried to move towards him, but as soon as she closed the distance, once again she gets hit with that bloody Storm of the Night, moving her speed to a mere 32, and again severely damaging her with the damage over time buff. Vlad's more or less at full HP. We're going to have to hit him with a few things at the same time. Death's Timekeeper, as well as Spirit Leech, and then the Empire Captain, all whacking away at him at the same time. Crypt Horrors have arrived in our front line. We're going to have to just essentially block them off with the Knights of the Black Rose, which are essentially the melee units for this particular army. Alright, gonna pop off a burning head from the item held by our engineer, as well as try to continue holding the enemy off with our tank and 2 units of Knights of the Black Rose. Vlad is melting away now at 30% of his HP, but as to how long it'll take to get him to 0 still remains to be seen. Bounce power has shifted in our favor now, and Elspeth has moved to apparently completely miss completely missed the Carmine Dragon Breath on the enemy lord. That ain't great. But oh well, what can you do? Actually kind of shocking that the dragon managed to miss with a corpse cart. It's a pretty darn slow-moving, big old walking or trundling barn of a unit. Or cart. Anyway, we still have to deal with Vlad, so Elspeth's going to come down and help out as our champion here is down to about half HP. Vlad has recovered, thanks to the Carstein ring, making him invulnerable and unbreakable. But Elspeth probably still has spell work that she can use. We got another Burning Head to move through the enemy lines as well. Probably not going to do too much damage to the enemy Graveguard, but we really need the Spirit Hosts gone, so between that and Fate of Biuna, they should be out of the picture. Vlad's back up to 50% of his HP, and yet another bloody Storm of the Night comes down on Elspeth, who moves away to deal with the encroaching enemy units of skeletons from the second reinforcing army. Now its power continues to climb in our favor, still at about 70%. However, we're in pretty good shape by the looks of it. The enemy corpse cart, or the necromancer on corpse cart, continues to move towards us, but is taking cannon fire and the occasional a little bit of other damage. Vlad has nearly defeated our Empire captain here. It was admittedly a low level, so we weren't expecting him to fight on a level with Bruckner. But we'll get him eventually, I'm sure. There we go. The Empire Captain moving on out. And we just got to keep firing away. And Vlad is still very much recovering. Looks like our Ironsides have been forced into melee, I think 3 or 4 of the units, against the just massive droves of skeletons and Graveguard. But Elspeth is still in the fight. I believe the enemy's Necromancer Lord has melted away at this point. And just a little bit more work will see the zombies here cleared out, at least I hope. And there we go. Vlad is melting once again. Probably doesn't like that Soul Blight, which is reducing his leadership and forcing him to melt once more. Crypt Horrors have charged into our other unit of Null Ironsides. And I'm sure they'll do a decent bit of damage, or at least they would have liked to. Vlad falls at last, getting hit by one more Spirit Leech from Elspeth, and the enemy begin at last to melt away. They did manage to severely damage several units. These Null Ironsides are down to 20% of their HP. The Knights of the Black Rose very close to being destroyed. One of our artillery pieces, Hellstorm Rocket Battery, here down to 2 units. And then we've got the Great Cannons running away. This Great Cannon is fine, and I don't know what happened to the other Hellstorm Rocket Battery, but I believe the crew fled as well, as the enemy was able to breach our line. Bright side, though, is that the Unknown Ironsides are... Oh, it froze. Well, the battle is over anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter that it froze. A bright side, as I was saying, is that the Null Ironsides are solid in melee, and we're thus able to hold the enemy back long enough for us to do work, especially in combination with those Knights of the Black Rose, who pretty impressively were able to hold off this portion of the battle. I don't know why it froze, but all good. Really, really fun fight, and a really close one as well. Probably the last fight, well, actually, Vlad will probably come back, but might be the last major fight, depending on how the garrison out of Drakenhof fares, or we fare against it. All right, there we go. A very, very nice fight for the Dark Lady of Nuln. We just managed to hold the enemy off, though it was admittedly a fairly close call, as we were looking like we were going to get overrun there for a bit. Our Black Knights, Knights of the Black Rose, Black Knights being the enemy, but anyway, Knights of the Black Rose held the enemy off very well. Essentially, we're using them as the melee troops in this particular army. Lots of damage out of the Null Ironsides, with Hagen's Marksman taking the 31k damage, and the prize of the Farsight's not too far behind. Elspeth, of course, had 64k damage and 380 kills, though it's her damage delta's gold value that's important at 12,000. Obviously, she's got way more damage delta's gold value than actual kills or damage comparatively. We got only 2k damage delta's gold value, but twice as many kills and more damage on the Hellstorm Rockets, because Elspeth was going after the lords and the heroes and the big old targets, the single entities, while these guys were obviously working on the Skellies and the Graveguard. Anyway, a very nice fight. Really enjoyed that one. And Vlad will, of course, rise again, but even if he was wounded, he'd just come back next turn anyway. You gotta love him. And of course, we can't kill this bloody black coach, but at least the Blood Knights are gone. Anyway, we are in enemy territory, so much as I'd love to take the 3.2k, we're not healing here, so I think we have to praise Sigmar. What can you do?
We owe our safety to Sigmar.
Alright, it does look like the... Oh, they didn't besiege the settlement? Oh, you're screwed. You are absolutely screwed. Though maybe what they want is that Gelt will, you know, come onto the battlefield a little bit after, as in it'll take some time. Maybe they want to rush Wolf from Frankenwerter, but I don't think they've got a prayer. Go. Alrighty, our huntsmen alone on the field, but fortunately the huntsmen do have stock, so it's unlikely that the enemy will find him. They're in fact going to fan out in an attempt to search for him. Now, the important thing for this battle is whether we can set up before the enemy rushes us, and that's going to decide whether this is an easy fight or a difficult fight. I also note that the enemy army is composed primarily of units that aren't really susceptible to the kind of damage that Delt can dish out, with Gehenna's Golden Hounds and Searing Doom being primarily made up of fast-moving, low model count units, trolls, squigs, lots of pump wagons, and we got, I believe, 2 units of giant river troll hags. We've got the lots of the goblin wolf rider archers in both armies, in fact, but, well, we'll see what we can do. Anyway, Gelt's got that silver and gold theme that we're trying for now, so we've got the units of Silver and Guard, which are 27 melee attack only, but a pretty huge melee defense of 51, which is pretty darn solid. Very tired, of course, with the rest of our army, because we have them... Oh, Gelt's gonna get hit with the Spirit Leech, because we were in March stance. And, yep, well, it's a little bit of a taste of our own medicine, at least after using all those Spirit Leeches with Elspeth. Anyway, making our way onto the battlefield, we probably won't have time to move too much, but we've at last set up our artillery pieces, and we'll begin firing off all of those rockets. I suppose Cathayan units would work decently well in Gelt's army as well. I'm sure he could talk to a thing or two about alchemy with Jiao Ming, but, well, for now we're going with elves. And especially since, I mean, the things like war drums have to take priority out of the Cathayan units. We'll see what other units we can get with the amount of allegiance that we have. Anyway, we are making our way onto the battlefield, still trying to get into position as the enemy starts moving towards us. The pump wagons are going to move, but we have essentially 2 lines of pikes or swords or halberds or whatever infantry we have. Of course, that is not going to make the pump wagons hesitate. And with enough pump wagons, they would have been able to break through this, especially under, like, Grom or something, but I think we're still looking okay. The enemy chariots, boar chariots, have tried to charge into the Silver and Guard, but have failed to do anything there. And we have a ton of anti-large between all the sharp things available in this particular army. Regardless of how effective our rocket batteries will be against the particular unit types that the enemy has here, I'd wager that the enemy is not going to easily be able to actually get to said rockets to punish them. I do notice that a lot of our range units aren't firing, they're just kind of sitting there. I fear that there may be too many units on the field that might be doing that no range fire bug, but at least the artillery are still firing. And maybe if we, well, at this point I decide to start targeting individual units in the hopes of our range units actually firing back. Yeah, you see these guys are still staying there. They've got all of this in range, but unless they are told to directly fire, they'll just do nothing. It happens. It's alright. Big old pile of wolf riders. Well, they may not usually be susceptible to rocket fire and Gehenna's Golden Hounds, but if they're going to blob up with 5 or 6 units on top of each other like this, or at the very least close to each other, we'll make use of the explosions and the damage to wipe them out, especially as they are fairly fragile, just hard to hit in numbers. Alright, the bounce power has shifted to about 60, maybe 65% in our favor. The enemy has absolutely failed to even come close to breaching our lines, especially as we even have some of those Knights of the Black Rose in the midst of our troops. The rockets continue to rain down on the enemy below. We've also got two of our other units of Knights of the Black Rose who have peeled away over on the left flank and are trying to work their way through as many of those Wolf Riders as possible. Which I'm sure they can do decently well. The Wolf Riders are very fragile units, and they're not going to get through the Knights of the Black Rose in melee. And so they're going to call some armor-piercing troll units in to help, which will probably be a lot more damage dealing. Alright, we get another wave of units which has hit our front line. 2, 3, 4 more units of pump wagons. We got squigs, the enemy lord, and we got trolls as well as an enemy Black Orc Big Boss. Going to hit the enemy lord with a final transmutation, and then hit everybody here with a Curse of the Midnight Wind to debuff them as well. Alright, looks pretty good to me, and once again they're still sort of hovering on the first line of infantry and not going to get through the second. Oh, looks like our range units are starting to fire away. I guess the number of units on the field has at last reached a low enough number that they're not being bugged out anymore. I really hope they fix that someday. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's like an engine limitation, some kind of issue. Unless it's my PC, unless it's... No, I don't think so. Right? It's not a CPU thing, is it? Does anybody know anything about the... has anybody ever heard anything from CA about this bug? Because it's been around for a while. And it definitely only happens when there are too many units on field. I see it a lot when fighting Skaven, for example. It's really bad when you have a basically all-range army, though. That, you know, can make you lose, or nearly lose. Certainly have experienced that a couple of times in the past. Anyway, the Knights of the Black Rose are still fighting the enemy trolls. Probably going to take a while to deal with them, considering the lack of anti-large here. And the relative lack of armor-piercing damage as well on those Knights of the Black Rose. They don't have lances, and they don't have a big old charge bonus to take advantage of, but they're more of a sort of defensive-type cavalry. Heavily armored, heavy melee defense. Almost similar to Chaos Knights with sword and board. And it works quite well. And as we can clearly see, it's working quite well all over the map, minus the units of River Troll Hags, which are still dropping those Spirit Leeches on occasion. It looks like we've managed to clear out almost all of the enemy now. Lovely. And it does look like our rocket batteries are down to about 40% of their ammunition. Still plenty of ammo on our other range units, our crossbows and stuff, because they decided to not fire for so long. But I guess it'll help with enemy units that are trying to run away. Anyway, last of the enemy units, it seems to be, other than the River Troll Hags, these units of Goblin Wolf Chariots, which, between the combination of halberds and pikes, which again looks fantastic, we should bring them down with ease. And there we go with that. The enemy army will at last shatter, and Gelt will carry the day. Unfortunately, probably too damaged to immediately fight the Staff of Volance battle, but I guess the enemy did attack us, so we should heal up. We'll see to what degree we heal and whether we should or can fight it immediately after. Oh, wait, we are waiting for 2 more rocket batteries as well, so there is that to consider. But anyway. All right, a lovely, lovely fight. I guess it makes sense why the AI wanted to attack that. It was difficult to actually position our army before the enemy armies were upon us, and well, that was obviously going to be an annoyance. Though we had a lot of troops, and the enemy would have had to go through a lot more of them before they got at our artillery. Which, well, the Sunmaker, 81,000 damage and nearly 82, and 674 kills. Plus solid work from Gelt, though he and his Empire Captain both nearly got killed by Spirit Leech spam from the 2 giant River Troll Hags. Good for the AI. We'll take the money because we can't heal because they attacked Wolf from here.
I'm feeling merciful.
Alrighty, supervisor, competent, protector, all the governors are, yeah, well, whatever. They get those debuffs from sitting there. Disciplinarian, Confederation, Rictus and Mordkin, ambusher discovered from the Crooked Man, I don't see why we'd care. Biting Blade, Grave Robber, hey, another banner of swiftness for Volkmar, beautiful. Initiate Dawnstone, which used to do, I believe, 15 physical resistance, but now does 250 barrier. They actually made it worse, didn't they? I mean, barrier is good, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather have the 15% physical resistance Dawnstone, I think. Especially considering that we have other barrier-giving obsidian lodestones, which are better. Anyway, Imperial Pegasus for Baldric Hart. I, again, don't know who you are. There's a lot of you guys running around. Oh! Oh, right, you didn't have your Pegasus? Okay, well, whatever. A Lucky Arrow for Wolfram Frankenwerter. Probably going to turn it into something else. Yeah, 8 range is fine, but there's been better, you know, options for melee. Better options for ferryman. Okay, you don't need a ferryman. Better options for weapon items. Another student, you can hold on to it. I don't know who you are, but I guess it doesn't matter. Ally mission successful. Hey, well, isn't that nice? Enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Ambusher discovered Throggy, ready for duty. Ah, the tech thief that immediately failed. I remember you. Let's move you up here, see if you can not screw things up this time. The Stonehorn tribe, Brayherds, come. I really wish that it had this little magnifying glass thing that told you where this faction appeared, because it would be nice, just in case they appeared somewhere in our territory. Where's Beastman? And yes, they did appear somewhere in our territory, close to Karl. Alright, we're down to 16,000 gold per turn. Again, gotta be careful about running out. Karl, you're gonna have to chase down and kill him. We could probably just auto-resolve it. Clear war. We're not leaving Beastman here. Never again. I made that mistake at least once, and it was horrible. They'll just keep on raiding. They might not even attack us, but yeah, it's always a hassle to deal with them. Alright, then kill those. A little bit of free XP at that. And you can have the money. You're going to heal on the way anyway, and I think you're out of movement, or pretty much out of movement anyway. We're healing in our allied territory as well, are we not? Just to double check. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we'd heal to full. Alright, you're going to find Mr. Throg's down here. Has Azag been defeated? Oh, I wanted Azag's defeat trait, but I really doubt that Scarbrand will get defeated, so we've still got him. Throt, ain't no way they deal with Help It. Enemy killed in battle, faction destroyed. There we go. Yo, and I guess you as well. This will most likely... Actually, it won't give us vision of them, so I think we're still safe to grab that mysterious island. And you can keep on following. Oh, wow, you can go real far. Good. Like so, fortified grog in case you need to fight, and, in fact, move here very slightly, which will allow you to transfer. Which will... The heck? Okay, there, now we can transfer. Perfection. And then you can go back and then get more troops for this army. Just sort of slowly ferrying troops over, and it'll grow and grab islands and then eventually fight those guys up there as well. Between the turns, it looks like the Drowned have immediately redeclared war on us, which most likely means that this army, which is here, will ignore all of these guys again and will sail out and head towards us, so we gotta prepare for that. Annoying aspect of it. I do want to see... what do we have in terms of Master Engineers? Still that methodical one. Are you level 15 yet? You are not. But he'll get there. He'll get there. Right, let's start going from the top. How did you get damaged? Why are you suffering attrition here? How does this happen? A recent event? What? Mutagenic energy? How dare you, whichever Xingqian faction did that. On the bright side, these guys have moved in, and I guess Dolph has a fight for him, but we just fought, so let's just, let's take a look at some of the other stuff before we continue. Now, okay, first of all, Elspeth. What do we have here? So Vlad's still around, probably not for much longer. In fact, I'm willing to bet we can use Marius Leitdorf to reinforce. Not because we need to, but because we want to. This guy attacked us too, right? I think so. Alright. See if we can attack both of them. Basically, I just don't want Elspeth to suffer too much damage while attacking with the auto-resolve, because there's no need to fight them again. Alright, and auto-resolve, well, we don't really care what happens to anything in Marius Leitdorf's army right now. Alright, oh, wow, really? Really? The steam tank. Of all the units, the tank. The armored... the tank. Okay. It's not a chariot game. Stop... Okay. And the annoying aspect of this, or the more annoying aspect of this, is that the tank can't heal because from Praise Sigmar because it's a single entity. And yeah, well, whatever. Pardon the captives. Keep taking the money. We need it. More of it. Ever more of it. Marius, you can grab Schwarzhafen. The dead rose again? Okay, you know what? Elspeth, I would like you to slightly move away. Not reinforce this, because the tank will then go down to 1 HP, I guarantee it. Auto-resolve this, and occupy it. Again, we're not returning it to Sylvania, and you can immediately build that weaving house. Alright, Trickster Shard, another one, good. And Zealot, Camp Follower. Marius Leitdorf has an Imperial Griffin, though I think he had a bad trait, didn't he? Oh, actually, he had an okay trait, so we could in theory use him should we desire to do so. Elspeth, you would be able to reach Lichburg. This guy would most likely survive, but it is what it is. No peace, eh? Oh, that's annoying. Oh, and we're just about to trade Oakenhammer. Okay, just to double check again. Essen, Oakenhammer, no dice. I'd really like to not have to deal with this right now. Are you at war? You're at war with us and the Continental Exarchate, presumably because we asked them to. Alright, well then, that's not something we can do anything about. It is what it is. We'll just have to deal with it, somehow. Some way. Alright, this is what I wanted to see. You guys, alright, so the Griffins are ready, or the Demigriffs, and we have a Empire Captain with Champion here. Alright, so what I would like to do is you go into March Stance, grab the 4 Demigriffs. We'll make it into 5 in a bit, but anyway. And then Bruckner, you're going to go into this army. And then Empire Captain 1 is going to go into this army, and then we'll get more Empire Captains for them to buff up the limited number of Demigriffs. And we will obviously do a Lore of Life in this army as well, because, you know, limited numbers. Probably it would be a good idea to also get some Pistoliers in here, because we use them like doggos, like direwolves, like warhounds, to chase things down.
What does the Emperor bid?
The Demigriffs in small numbers, as we will have them here, will be way too busy for that. Anyway, go into Castle Leinster. How's the plague looking here? One more turn, and then we've still got the plagues here. You still have to wait. You, Gosse. Oh, he can reach Castle. Okay, go right here. You can transfer... I mean, I haven't really decided, but... this is not our territory. Can we get any of these guys up and running next turn? We will be able to. Yeah, alright. Let's do 4 great swords, at least for now. I like so.
The nation calls.
And transfer them. We also have this Witch Hunter to be transferred in here.
I'll scout the area.
Might do a few more great swords, I'm not sure. Oh, we got some Pistoliers here that we could transfer to that army. Or we could turn them into Empire Knights until we have more Knights of the Everlasting Light. It's a possibility as well. Just to get the army up and running faster. I will consider it. You, other Witch Hunter, go here. How are we for more Witch Hunters? Oh, we're out of capacity. Well, that's okay because we don't like either of these ones anyway, so we'll just have to increase said capacities. And then you guys can sit here. Oh, probably won't be able to grab the Silent until you have a full army. We could send Gosser to do it. Yeah. We'll have him deal with it next turn, I guess. I assume he can't sail out in this turn? Oh, he can. Alright, well then he can pick that up. Alright. Now, let's get back to doing things in order minus Dolph. Gavin. I assume we're free to occupy Eschen with ya, even with other armies nearby. Theodric, you are going to take out this little Bok rat here. And then start moving down this way, towards Tempelhof. You can auto-resolve this. I'm going to hope that it doesn't do a crazy amount of damage to you. More than I'd like. The Vamps might attack us on this basis, but we weren't going to fight that because it was a waste of... Whoa, what the heck? Oh, no. This item or follower, I double-clicked and then something got taken off of you. And I don't know what it was. Oh, well. What can you do? Hey, another burger. Good. These guys are useful. Enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Waldenhof destroyed, which kind of helps the Vamps in some way. And this territory is now ours. We're going to actually start with the decorruptification, which is a Sigmarite dogma. And then we'll go into Host Festag after. Delete this addition and then build the... well, start with the weaving house. And then the lumber mill and then the weaving house as well. And just hope that these guys don't try to bypass us and then go for all of this. I kind of do expect these guys to attack us, but we shall see. Anyway, Elspeth, I imagine that if you attack you... well, let's find out.
Known for the Empire.
Think the sun.
You are not going to run. And we can't auto-resolve this. I guess we can manually fight this real quick. Also, why did that... oh, it got off you because you switched your mount. That's fine, for now. Yes? Yes, alright. Manually fight it real quick. Otherwise, it'll kill the tank. I wish we could put the regen item on the tank. That would be just fantastic. Alright, and what's this terrain? Are we able to... well, the enemy's probably going to group up here waiting for its reinforcements to arrive with... is this the same map as we fought Vlad? I think it's the same exact map. Oh, now they're deployed over on this side this time. Oh, interesting. Surprising, in fact. Not gonna help them. Alright, do this, maybe a little bit closer, because I expect they'll start withdrawing, else but they can immediately move forward and kill the enemy lords and heroes. You guys can set up, though I don't like these hills. We will set you two up on the flanks, but then use you two very badly damaged knights to protect the artillery, and... I don't know, maybe we can pop you cannons up here. You know what, maybe we'll pop you guys up here as well. Might have to reposition them, but it'll be okay. You're gonna go here, you're gonna move with Elspeth as needed. You can fight in the air, you can move forward, we can Vanguard deploy you guys, and have you attack the enemy there. And I forgot who. Oh, yes, the tank. You're gonna act as artillery in this particular battle. Alright, that looks good to me. Let's turn off skirmish mode from everybody. Fair battle. Alright, you guys reposition like so, you guys reposition like so. Artillery, get a few volleys off, you can move here. You are going to activate... well, actually, you know what, you're badly damaged enough so that I don't think we should activate Forbidden Rod. But let's have you instead use your breath... yeah, just fight you in the air. Spirit Leech. And you guys keep attacking. Turn on skirmish mode, though. Hey, stop going after that guy. Alright, turn on that, and then Death's Timekeeper. Then we can move you... well, they're firing. They're fine. Alright, there we go. That lord is done for. Elspeth, you breathe on the lord, or the dragon. And breathe on the lord. You guys move to protect. You guys move to the flanks. You guys are okay. Keep kiting. Well... not really kiting. Oh, there we go. Single breath of destroyed. Let's do a non-overcast variant of this. And in front of the enemy army. And spirit hosts are pretty much done for. There we go. Grenades are doing good work. Yeah, how would this have killed off... how would a similar battle to this have killed off a tank game? What are you talking about? Absolute insanity. Alright, and let's speed back up. Hey. Hey, what the heck? Who's hitting our... friendly, a little bit of friendly fire. That's what it is, though. Alright, then you guys can now fire at this, so you guys can reposition up here, I think. Tank, you can reposition up here. I don't see the enemy rushing yet, but you never know. In fact, wait, move like so, and then we'll put these guys right behind this, just getting ready for the arrival of the next enemy army, and we'll put the tank, or the, horse behind them all. You all will reposition like so. Hopefully be able to fire down upon the enemy. You guys get ready to kite and annoy the incoming and new enemy host. You guys protect the flanks. You actually move out right now. And you can move with Elspeth. What do we got? We got 40 seconds, meaning we can pop off a Forbidden Rod. Everybody else go here. Wait reinforcements. And the repositioning is happening. There we go. Enemy units have arrived on field. Where is that vampiress? Let us Spirit Leech her. You can hover around in the air. How are the rest of you all doing? There we go. And maybe not overcast, don't bother. Alrighty, we got some units moving towards us. Elspeth should be able to handle bats, I think, though. Pop the Fate Abuna on the Black Knights, so let's have you move in and help against the batties. I can actually target them, there we go. Death's Timekeeper on, if I can find the vamp. Where is she? There she is, wait. There she is. Alright, and then that'll heal Elspeth. You can also... yeah, you guys can just annoy and attack the enemy. You will be using your spell work. Well, not super likely that you'll actually hit too many units, but might as well put it on cooldown. Like so, and I'd like you to use Mercurial Shot on these guys. How's that vampire? She's still around. How long for? Probably not too long. You can also activate Dark Walker because you're going to get damage like this. Alright, looks good to me. You guys can reposition. You can switch to Blazing Shots to do more damage. Elspeth, how are you? Bats are tying you up nicely. I'm actually kind of impressed. Let's Doom and Darkness them. Make sure that... oh, I guess they're already melting away. But too late. We've already used it. Alright, then you just keep on firing. And we will speed it. Wow, why are you taking so long to kill some bats? You're a dragon. Should be able to knock like a dozen. Yeah, there you go. Oh, did they just stop attacking? I think that's what happened. Sometimes units will just sort of hover there and not do anything. Because I saw Elspeth, I saw the Carmine Dragon, you know, move, and then suddenly a dozen bats dropped out of the sky, so I think that's, yeah. Alright, well, and get another Purple Sun. It's so cheap. Ooh, back off. I see a unit of Black Knights riding around. You guys will need to shadow the Black Knights, which are actually eating grenades now. Probably the only decent target left for a Spirit Leech, so we'll Spirit Leech them as soon as we can. Gotta tie them up though, or else they'll kill the war wagons. You can switch to Piercing Shots, because we need the armor piercing more than anything else. You can attack them now. The breath thing won't help, and yeah, you guys keep on running. Keep on shadowing. There we go. You tie them up together with the dragon. Beautiful. Oh, and the cannon fire can now fire. Alright, you can lift off. Those guys are done for. And in fact, both of you can lift off. Probably could have actually moved our own knights here to help out, but it wasn't really needed. Like I said, definitely an auto-resolvable battle. Especially if we actually want to use the spell work from Elspeth. Hey, there's one other unit down here, just in case the artillery doesn't take care of it. We'll move on in. No more healing available, but that's okay. There we go. Huh. Okay, there's one more unit. There we go. Close victory, game. Close victory. The closest victory I've ever seen. They almost had it, guys. What the... and it's not like we expended a ton of ammunition. Our artillery wasn't firing for most of the battle, and I don't think the Ironsides got more than a couple shots off. So, if it wasn't ammunition expenditure, what in the world could possibly possess the game to think that that was a close victory? Alright, at least this preserved the tank from getting even more unnecessary damage from the auto-resolve being silly. Hopefully once we put a second tank in there, it won't suffer damage. Gotta remember to double-check whether the recruiter can get another tank going, whether our gun forge or a gunsmith or whatever has reached the next level. Do you want to heal up for the knights? Yeah, you know what, let's heal up the knights even if it doesn't heal the tank, because it might make auto-resolving easier. Go to Lichburg now. Oh, and they've survived. Okay, we have to do this again. See, the thing is, if we auto-resolve, what'll happen is the tank will go down to 1 HP, and then if the enemy army besieges our army, the tank will die. And due to attrition. Every single campaign I keep thinking I need to double check if there's like a mod that's like a cheat auto-resolve, as in you 100% win, no damage, because that would be really nice in situations like this where the game is being, you know, silly. At least our knights are at full HP now. It's also, I guess, more XP and stuff, although I guess we would have gotten that from auto-resolving anyway. Alright, you guys move forward. Did I forget anybody? I did. I forgot the most important ones, because you guys actually just showed damage. And of course all the bats came back. And tank, can go all the way back here. Act as an artillery piece. Okay, I did not position you correctly. Like so. Alright, good enough. Alright, Elspeth and Co, go. You can... Well, there's not even anybody to really spirit leech here. Speed it up to max. Alright, slow it down. Fade unit on the bats. And spirit leech on the bats. Since they're going to be annoying, and then purple sun right there. Alright, tie up the bats, please. You guys keep moving on away. I turned off the skirmish mode off of you guys. Yes, indeed I did. Alright, bats. Tie them up and kill them. Alright, good. And Elspeth, you wanna pop a breath on the Black Knights, I guess? Somebody. There's nobody here to really... This is it's gonna kill like one guy. Nope, they're already gone. Alright, that was, I guess, Graveguard. We've got max speed. Just hover over everything so everything's nice and spottable. Spirit Leech on the Spirit Hosts. The irony is real. There we go. Yeah, there's no way. I was just thinking, wait, do the engineers have like an emergency repair sort of deal like the I guess it's only Malachi, isn't it, now that I think about it? Huh. I feel like machines maybe should get the a status similar to constructs so that Lore of Life and stuff doesn't heal them because it's kind of overpowered, and instead have them like constructs only healable by a special ability, so that give the engineers emergency repair or something similar to Malachi, or just regular repair, whatever, and have them be able to repair war machines. I think that would make a lot more sense. Too much sense, perhaps. Occupy.
Let us take it.
Alright, there we go. Oh, up to 86, not bad. And Castle Drakenhof remains, and I guess we're going to want to wait for it to reach tier 5 so that we can take it at tier 4, wouldn't we? I would imagine so. Pop a tap room in there as well. Alrighty, now this is still going to be an issue, but let's keep going through things and see what else we've got. So, Kurtzek. Can you defend Fort Brockar against this? I don't know. Good luck. I don't care about you because you're a recruiter. You have no traits. I kind of do care about the Free Company, but only a little bit. Oh, right, the Grundle's Defenders. Oh no, now we... Wait. Alright, go here, go back one little tiny bit, and then grab the Grundle's Defenders, which were supposed to be in this army to defend the big ol' artillery train. There you go. Alrighty, and just to double check, what other regiments of renown do we have available? This is going to Volkmar. This, I haven't decided to who. This is going to probably... either the Nordlander army or possibly the machinery army. But anyway, you can keep on going. What the heck? You also have mutagenic energy. Did every single one of our lords get hit by this? Why is everybody taking damage? Huh. It's weird. I guess... I assume this is a Tzeentchen faction thing? I don't remember, but how are they hitting multiple armies on different sides of the map at the same time? I am genuinely not sure. Not that it makes much of a difference. Boris Brach, you are still to deliver that steam tank. I keep wanting to say siege tank. Alright, 12 and Jürgen Hart. What are you again? Oh, hazard technician. Go in here, you're gonna be in this army to do things. Important things. Ah, Imperial Foot. Okay, that sounds to me. What do you got in terms of Grandmasters? Dwarfen Plate Armor. Plus 10 armor for all units. I want to see something. Reichsguard. Regular Reichsguard are 120 armor, and then Imperial Foot are... Well, under Karl they probably have more armor, 140. I want the speed for them as well, so I guess we'll wait until we get another armor pedigree. The speed is just too good to say no to, though I do like this guy. Probably... Yeah, okay, we'll wait. We'll wait. I was thinking of starting to build Kurt Helborg's army, but at the same time, we're still recruiting a ton, and our money is going to drop because we haven't been, adding structures that will give us additional cash, so maybe we can wait on it. Von Blutten, you are going to kill, or we're going to kill this guy, who's going to run for obvious reasons towards this little rat nest here. I assume this is them and not these guys, or is it these guys? You have one territory. It has to be this, right? Where else?
Sigmar.
Alright, you're gonna suffer attrition next turn as well. Okay, kill this. It's better not do damage to us. Alrighty, and hey, an asp bow. That's actually a solid find. Now, you can't reach Templehof from here, but you can go into encamp and make sure that you don't suffer attrition next turn. Lovely, and the asp bow we can probably put on any engineer lord on a tank, because then you have poison shot, and that's pretty cool. What else do we have? Emil von Corden, we moved you slightly, but yeah, okay, just sit there for a turn. Recruiter Van Grue, you are going to keep moving this way, I guess. No choice in the matter. Actually, go right to the edge of Ubersreich, because next turn we will confederate, and then we will reset, and then that'll reset the count of the state troops. And thus we'll want to recruit some state troops for you. Alright, Balthazar Gelt. Okay, I think we'll want you to kill off these guys, so you can reinforce for... Oh, no, you can't reinforce. Alright, you're fine then. You go kill this. I assume that you can auto-resolve this time, and then we'll heal for a turn, then we'll do Staff of Olens next turn, I guess. Alright, auto-resolve. Can damage the... Yeah, actually it was more or less fine. Yeah, take the money. Alright, and then heal in the Citadel of Myrmidia, to the degree that you can. Yeah, alright. And enemy killed in battle, Circle of the Sun. We should actually probably upgrade you immediately. Oh, we still want to grab Toranrock for ourselves. It's mostly just because we want the Circle of the Sun itself, otherwise I would have abandoned this territory long ago, but I guess we can't do that right now. Anyway, Hanging Rock. That'll be a nice territory we could trade to these guys as well, most likely. Something for Gelt to do before he goes north to grab Eckendorf. Hopefully the Eric Hearn guys don't grab too many territories there. Anyway, let's see what else we've got. Recruiter Albrecht. No, I've already collected you. Recruiter Beckberg. Ah, yes, I wanted to see about tanks. Do we have additional tank capacity? No. I guess one more turn? Alright, fine. We do have the ability to build our first land ship, but I feel like since we need to build like 3 at a time, or at the same time, we're just going to wait until the capacity goes up slightly, and then deal with it after. You're still waiting. Tech Thieves still have to be moved, and of course that one Orky battle still has to be fought. Steel Tech. Nice, and okay, no mount for you. Oh, we didn't get a mount. And just keep going through this, I guess. Anything help? Winds of Magic. Spells. Nothing. Alright. As in help a field agent. Volkmar Scout. You will reach Volkmar in 2 turns? 1 turn? SF's key should belong to Volkmar. And, there we go. House of Everlasting Life. We've reached him, but I think we're going to get Boris Stodbringer next, because there's no chance of Volkmar dying right now. You can go into this army now. But then it'll cripple Dolph's movement range, and I wanted him to kill Grisguts as well. I guess we could wait, since this guy isn't moving. He could also attempt to attack us, which is kind of dangerous. Alright, you're going to move here. You're going to pop on, and this will be XP for you. There we go. Finally, we have an engineer in this army. Increase mobility and save points for Master of Ballistics. Vanguard deployment for Chariot and War Machine units, and Strider for Chariot and War Machine units. Yes, okay. Be very helpful for these guys. Too bad we can't give Strider to the rest of the army. And wouldn't that be lovely? Alright, we should level before fighting and then move whoever else needs to be moved, and then we'll be good to go. Enemy leadership, or I don't really care. Let's try to get Slippery, because this guy's probably going to get attacked by stuff. 135. Survival is kind of not worth it. I'm going to say Counter-Striker. Alright, what about you? Flame Wizard. Bright Wizard. Still moving towards this, so go for further study. And then lastly, Dolph himself, who is going to go through Requisition into extra powder, and then I guess Gunsight, because it's more damage on that big old tank. Although, that's a question. Well, you know what, let's get at least 1 point in Gunsight, because the range doesn't actually increase, but then Skardvet is also very nice on the tank. Alright, he will attack in a second as soon as we finish moving the last of the Tech Thieves around. If you succeed, you'll be able to get up to rank 12 and never fail again. Hey, I was going to say, of course he fails one last time, but it looks like he didn't take the opportunity. You had your chance. Hero action success chance plus 15. There you go. And then we can start moving through this towards machinations of the college. Fantastic. Alright, and I believe that's it for everybody that needs to move. We still have buildings to be builded and such, and a tech to pick. And diplomacy to do. Alright, let's check diplomacy. Then we'll fight, and then we'll do building, and then we'll end the turn. Tursith. Want to be friends? Yeah, sure, Tursith. Why not? Oh. I would prefer not to have to... You're not at war with anybody? Darn, I wanted military access. Oh well, just do it. If we can't get some alliances going with them. This is fine. This is fine. This is... Okay, still the Harrison Revivalists, and I still do want that, but we're getting there. Great Orthodoxy, we're saving it. Hunts Marshal. Ah, he's looking like he's doing okay. And the rest of this stuff we can ignore. Meaning, we're ready to go. Ooh, wait, I just want to check any interesting machinations. I don't really care about the degrading army. Conscription will be useful to build those land ships immediately. I don't want to put it on cooldown for 5 turns yet. We could start giving a bonus XP to the recruiters because we can get them up to rank... Well, also, wait, there are other lords... Well, I still want the Endless Tinkerer on all of these guys because it's really useful for recruiters because global and local recruitment duration -1 for artillery and war machines. So yeah, fine. And then we can start popping this off. Not call to arms, but commendation for you, Recruiter Beckberg. Lovely. And it's a 3-turn cooldown. And then requisition we save until next turn, and the target empire region loses all corruption. Do we have a Sylvanian region we can decorruptify? This is already decorrupted. This is not. This is not as well. I mean, I guess we could do this place. In theory. Or we could wait a bit. Still gotta... Watch out for Grimgor doing Grimgor things, and you're still going to be an issue. But I don't see what we can do about it right now. With the exception of using... I mean, he could just go for Hornau instead of Fort Brocker. If we summon some stuff here. We could summon whatever stuff we don't necessarily need soon, but I also don't want to waste too much money on it. Especially since I doubt you'd win anyway. There just isn't enough here. The troops would get overrun being basic troops. I'm almost tempted to get this guy out of here instead and just ignore it. I will think about it. For now, though, it's fighting time. Alright, Valiant defeat casualties high. Well, they do certainly have a lot of trolls and snotling pump wagons. Oh, that's a lot better, because those are all fast-moving units and might perhaps be somewhat threatening to us. And, of course, the Doom Diver. Well, let's get to it.
Warriors of the Empire, and with my fearless knowledge, our victory is certain.
Alright, here we go. We've had a nice showing from the Masters of Magic in Gelt and Elspeth this episode, but it's time to let good old-fashioned gunpowder put the enemy to rest instead of relying on all those wizards. So, here we go. Gonna start the battle off with our Outriders deployed on the enemy right flank. Gonna try to gun down as many of those fragile pump wagons so that they cannot give chase to our infantry. And of course, fire essentially point blank into the faces of those boar boys and those squig hoppers, such that the suppression slows them down. And we can just keep on taking or doing damage. And 2 units of pump wagons are out, and it looks like piles of gobos are heading towards us, but between the grenades and the our riflemen on the, or handgunners on the war wagons, not pump wagons, I'd wager that the gobos and the York boys are not going to have a particularly good time. I do note that we got some decently high veterancy units in this particular army. These Orc boys are at rank 8, and I guess this army's been around for a while. I wonder if it's the main stack of the Red-Eye tribe. Well, frankly, we should punish them, because we originally wanted to use them to declare war on that little minor Kislevite faction, and it never happened. And because they didn't want to peace out. And big ol' Ragnarok heading towards us, but that is a big old target as the war wagons, the snipey war wagons target it as we use accusation on it to decrease its resistances of various kinds. And, well, we stop it in its tracks and bring it down rather quickly. Oh, I wonder what was that a blast from the tank? I think it was. Either way, the spider will topple, and we're going to start backing off as we don't want those trolls charging into our free company militia. Though it looks like the trolls are in pretty bad shape as well. Alright, it does look like some of the enemies have managed to tie up some of the Nordland Mariners over on the right flank. We're going to help them out, however. Scroll of Shielding gives them 25% damage resistance, and Cascading Fire Cloak gives them 42 melee defense. They're up to 87 melee defense there. And with all those resistances, they should be okay to hold the enemy back, while getting a little bit of help from the Witch Hunter retinue, who we've moved into melee to help out. Alright, there we go, and the tank, of course, moving in as well. Beautiful. And, of course, Mr. Dolph has been annoying the enemy on his tank for this entire time. He's up to 100 kills and 12,000 damage at the current time. Over on the left flank, we have a little bit of a shootout happening with a unit of Goblin Wolf Archers being, I guess, protected by Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, firing away at our Pistoliers. We're going to get a few volleys up and then back off, as Pistoliers are fairly fragile, and Goblin Archers will eventually dish out enough damage to be concerning. Over on the right flank, the enemy fast movers have by and large failed under fire from the Outriders and are now attempting to retreat. But of course the Outriders can fire whilst moving as long as they're firing forwards, so and these guys have no hope in getting away. And Dolph is still acting like a chariot with that lovely tank of his. Oh, you can see some of the crewmen inside. Too bad it's not like a fully fleshed out sort of interior of the tank. Would have been nice. Kind of in the same way of the Thunder Barge, where you can see inside the Thunder Barge. I would have liked that, but anyway. Anyway, since those units of Gobos were being rather annoying, we have decided to charge the Pistoliers into the melee and then wipe them out a little bit quicker. Goblin Archers aren't going to be able to stand up in melee against pretty much anything. In the meantime, we've got a Burning Head moving through the enemy's reinforcement, which is a big pile of Gobos. And a Cowcatcher or Gobcatcher at the front of the tank. Well, it's more like a, I don't know, tipped ram sort of deal. But anyway, there we go. Getting some nice charges through that, and the Goblins are rightly horrified by that. They realize they stand no chance, and with that will break. I love seeing the tank point blank firing away at the enemy. They're just such entertaining units. And I can't wait for land ships as well, but, we're building. There we go, nice grenade launcher blast into the droves of Gobos. I'm just enjoying Dolph and doing his thing. Too bad the tank can't also knock down trees it smashes into, but it's all good. Anyway, there we go with that. The enemy will shatter. The battle is ours. Fantastic. No significant damage that I can tell, so certainly not what the auto-resolve was thinking would happen here. Alright, there we go. Unsurprisingly, Dolph does it again, and Dolph himself, nearly 600 kills and 45,000 damage. Of course, the Fire Wizard cleaned house here, as it was a fairly goblin-heavy reinforcing Wa, and thus ripe for burninating. Anyway, we could heal up a little bit, but it's not that much, and I'm disinclined to say no to 2.8k gold. Beauty. And we'll pop you into an camp. Stay right here. Oh, you're Steve. Damn you, mutagenic energies. Alrighty, well, I'd like to be at full HP for fighting this one, because I think that'll be a decent toughie. Ooh, War Banner. Yes, also great on these guys. Well, I mean, Banner of Swiftness probably the better thing. We could put this on, like, the Wonder of the Age, though. That'll be fantastic. Oh, Kislevite Kassar, ranked up in territory belonging to Kislev. Those are nice. Those are real nice. Okay, we definitely want those. Okay, we definitely want a few more of those. Barded Warhorse immediately for the Engineer. And speaking of the Engineer, one more level. Alright, we'll get there. Increase mobility, however. I wouldn't say no to it. Anyway, let us pick a tech. Let's see. We could go for the increase to the wizard capacity, but we have we wouldn't have enough capacity to get too much mileage out of it anyway. Improved cavalry armor is probably the better upgrade here. We're using a fair bit of light cav especially, which could really use the additional missile resistance and armor. The ordnance canisters is kind of meh because we rarely, if ever, run out of artillery ammunition at this point in time, but the further upgrades are pretty nice. Range, missile explosion radius, and then of course a reload and missile strength. And we don't have enough of the fancy big machines yet to take advantage of this, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, I think state-issued armor and then rifled barrels via all of the upgrades and missiles is going to be the best pick. Of course, Imperial Architects is also important, but, well, we got a long time until we reach it, in the sense that 7 turns is not something I'm willing to commit to just for that. Anyway, we got money, and we're going to spend it. Let's see if we can't build up some nice... You know what, maybe now is the time to go for some of these common temples. It'll take up all of our money, but then we won't have, well, at least we won't have to see this every single turn. Let's do it. Let's just do it. And at least it'll make this portion of the... portion of this a little bit faster. The rally field is fine. I actually think that we should replace the Shrine of Sigmar here, obviously put it in Karoberg instead, and then put a common temple here instead. And, perfect! We got an elusive tactician. Wait, is this the only place where we have a Shrine of Sigmar? Do we have another one somewhere? We have one here. This is actually also perfect. We can keep Emil here, get the devastating flanker elusive tactician guy for the Demigryph Knights. Absolutely fantastic. That worked out. And then, yeah, no small temples of Sigmar. That's silly. Only big temples of Sigmar. Sigmar likes big temples. We're going to put it into Karoberg. Alrighty. What's next? Marienburg? Hey, no, you're actually too expensive and I don't want to deal with it. Let's see. I did see that there were a bunch of... Maybe not a bunch, but at least several. Oh, right. I wanted to upgrade you. There were at least several main structures that we wanted to do. Like Wissenberg. Oh, we can't do it this turn. Alright, fine. Go switch to Cancel Burgomeisters. Just gonna try to remember that that's available next turn. Torpen, yes. We'll upgrade you next turn. Cancel the Burgomeisters. Might actually mean that we want to save some money. We could also pop Uber's Reich up to tier 5 should we desire to do so, but right now we're okay because we still have to go our way through all of this anyway. So, Gunsmith and Wizard's Conclave. Hold off on upgrading that Gunsmith. Well, yeah, hold off on it for now. Money though, yes, and yeah, just gonna have to wait out those darn plagues. That hasn't changed, but we are free to upgrade Gruiden because it's not that expensive either way. Grunberg and Grissenwald, Lumberyard, and Taylor's Guild, and I guess we should upgrade Kemperbad itself as well. And it'll be a while before you can be upgraded again, so we are free to pop you into Host Festag. You, Vorbergwerk, are yellow territory, which is why we haven't upgraded you, and I continue to intend to not do so right now. Fort Solace, however, probably a decent choice for an upgrade. Yes, it's a single settlement, but it's a military territory, as we're not expecting it to generate money, so and that's not so bad. Anyway, I think, folks, with that, this is probably an ideal time to end the episode. We could end the turn. I guess we'll start next episode by ending the turn and finishing up with Sylvania next episode. I would end it right now, but I fear that Meinrad will attack Gavin, or possibly Transiform will attack Gavin, because he's badly damaged here, and thus, if that's going to happen anyway, we'll probably want to fight that, since Gavin's army is severely damaged. Also, next turn, / next episode, the Confederation debuff will run its course, meaning we will confederate Boris Dodbringer, and start building the Ulrich army, plus reset via the electoral machinations these guys, after recruiting those that are now available. And then recruit more of them, which again will take more money. Yeah, money keeps dropping. But nonetheless, we'll do the Staff of Volance battle for Balthazar Gelt, and then sort of putter around here for a little bit as best we can. And gotta also once again prepare for Mr. Grimgor, but we're also sending 2 armies out to Bretonia, the first of which might arrive there next episode and might start doing stuff, which is a good thing. Stay tuned for more, Carl. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. If you're into that sort of thing, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.